Welcome, Rope Breakers. It's been a while. This is the first ever episode of Before the Bell. You guys are in for a treat. I know you guys have been waiting a while for this. I've been posting about it, and Rope Breakers has been knocking down my door trying to figure out when the hell the show is actually going to start. Here it is, guys. This is Before the Bell. You are live in the studio. Don't adjust your screens, by the way. I know you're kind of confused. You're not seeing a ghost. This is, in fact, AuSSy. He is my guest tonight, and he's going to be right here with me giving you guys... There you go. He's going to be right here with me giving you guys predictions for Night of Champions, which isn't that far along. I think we have maybe a half an hour before the show actually starts, so we're going to get right into this. We're not going to bullshit. We're going to get right into the show. We're going to start with our predictions. First on the match card, we have Rusev versus Mark Henry, and I don't know about you, but I was feeling it when I first heard about it. I thought it could be interesting, and I think I said this before. This is a match that's made for Monday Night Raw, not a pay-per-view. I think this could be good to put him over, but I'm just not interested in this match at all right now. I could care less. I think we can all agree. My prediction right now, I'll make it short and sweet. Rusev over Mark Henry. I'd be completely confused if it were the other way around. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Which then again might make sense because it seems the way that's what WWE likes to do. But I'm with Matt here, and we'll get you out of this one pretty quickly, and hopefully WWE does the same with this match. I'm looking for a squash from Rusev. Then you've got two American heroes, Jack Swagger and Mark Henry, both ousted. And you know what I'm going to say next?
I know it's coming.
I've been saying it for months.
I know it's coming.
There's only one American hero. And if we're going to tease Mark Henry as an Olympic hero, we need a real Olympic hero. We had the fake American hero, Jack Swagger, and we had the fake American or Olympic hero, Mark Henry. It's time for the real American Olympic hero, Kurt Angle. It's true. It's damn true.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ronald McDonald or something.
Ronald McDonald could be next to
Ronald McDonald, he's a true American hero.
Definitely. What else we got on this card?
Oh my God, we have
a bunch of terrible shit.
We have a bunch of terrible shit. We have this one's interesting. We have Randy Orton versus Chris Jericho. And the reason I say it's interesting because this is a match that I want to care about, but I just don't. I almost feel bad that I don't. I guess the only thing I could see happening here is Randy Orton going over Chris Jericho. It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for Jericho to win. He's going back on tour with Fozzy soon. So a win here just to knock down Orton for absolutely no reason would make zero sense. I think they're trying to rebuild Orton a little bit to put over some more talent later on. So I got to go with Randy Orton taking this match. But like I said, I honestly don't care.
Yeah, you know what? This match for me could kind of go in a plethora of directions because you're right. It would be kind of confusing to see anything but Randy Orton going over Jericho. We're expecting Jericho to, end up this run with WWE. But the thing is we've heard many rumors that this could possibly be Jericho's last run. So that, that makes it somewhat intriguing. If this is his last match, number one, I'd be extremely disappointed because it has not gotten the build that it should have received as Jericho's last match. I feel like that in and of itself could, generate some money. It should be a WrestleMania match, in my opinion. But the question is, if this is Jericho's last match, does he want to go out with a win or does he want to go out with a loss? It's pretty common that we see, the big guys, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, a long list of guys have gone out with an L. Question is, does Chris Jericho think Randy Orton is, deserving of giving him that, that career-ending loss? I'm not necessarily sure that I'm sold on it, but I'm going to agree with you here, and I'm going to say my pick would be Randy Orton to beat Chris Jericho. Look for the punt. Did we not see an attempt for a punt against Roman Reigns? I think a punt is a good way to keep Jericho off TV and maybe end his career if that's the way they're going, and bring back a more vicious Viper Randy Orton, if you will.
I completely agree. And piggybacking off what you said, that makes a lot of sense. The punt would definitely bring him back as long as they could keep him there, because we've seen that many times. You start to see Orton get back into that mode, and you get really excited. We're going to see the Viper again, and then they just drop the ball. I did forget that this could possibly be Jericho's final run, and like you said, I'd be completely disappointed if that, not disappointed in what he's accomplished, but I'd be upset if he were to leave.
I think we all would. I totally agree with you on that.
So that definitely adds to it, but I still have to go with Randy Orton winning here, because like you said, if Jericho were to go out, I don't personally think that Orton is the guy to do that. Although,
is that bad that we think of Orton like that? I mean, the guy is a legend, a future Hall of Famer,
yeah.
But we don't have him on the list of people worthy enough to end a legendary career. I feel like John Cena, Randy Orton, their careers kind of parallel. We definitely would, expect to see a guy like Cena end a career, like Jericho. But for some reason, we don't see Randy Orton. Maybe it's just the current state that he's in, that kind of baby back bitch,
Yep.
the authorities,
Yep.
ass, hand, whatever. I'm not necessarily sure that I'd be, jumping up and down for excitement. That's for sure. But.
Yeah, I think I think it has a lot to do with his inconsistent build over the years. I mean, obviously he had that huge run with Evolution that was like probably the best thing he's ever done. Then he went off and did the Legend Killer thing. But since that, he really hasn't had anything strong to keep him in that limelight, to get us excited when he comes out. Where John Cena is constantly, people say he's shoved down our throats. Yes, but like you just said, it'd be understandable.
We would, he's on that level of all-time great, somebody that we respect. But I respect the hell out of Orton too.
Yep, me too.
So what else do we got here?
We got the Usos versus Goldust and Stardust, which, oh man, it's just not exactly.
The only thing that we're excited for possibility, though, it would be what?
The Ascension making their debut. This is a bold prediction. But
my question is, though, we're seeing tomorrow night is supposed to be, from what we're seeing, built as some sort of new generation. I don't know. This episode of Raw tomorrow is going to be some sort of new generation theme to it. That there in itself makes sense for me to see the Ascension come tonight, layeth the smackdown on the Usos or whoever. I would assume it'd be the Usos. They're the face here. And then tomorrow night, maybe you get that Paige versus AJ night after WrestleMania, impromptu tag title match, Usos Ascension. We see the Ascension ascend.
I think that would be awesome. Definitely, that would be
fantasy booking going on here.
Listen, guys. You're not going to find this shit anywhere else. You can look, but you won't find it. Rope Break Wrestling before the bell. This is the only place that you're going to find this kind of stuff. You're not going to get predictions like the Ascension coming in and taking out the Usos at Night of Champions. You're not going to get that anywhere else.
What about the actual match at hand, though?
The actual. We have to make these predictions for this kind of match because otherwise it's just very straightforward and boring.
Right, yeah. One-word answer.
Usos retaining. If nothing special happens, man, I don't want to say that. I'm afraid that they're going to give it to Goldust and Stardust. I'm really afraid because that's the direction they've been built. We need to find the cosmic key.
Oh my God.
I'm also wondering if they're not building this and if Cody will not turn on Goldust. I know some people say Goldust needs to turn on Cody. I get where they're coming with that, but as far as the gimmick now goes, now that they have him as Stardust, I think it would make more sense for him to turn on Goldust. Something to the effect of, I put on this stupid makeup, I dress up like a clown like you did for your entire career. That kind of.
I agree with you on that because number one being the exact reason you just stated. There's the groundwork there or could easily, be brought as Cody as a heel. But another reason being, Cody is a much better heel than he is face, in my opinion.
Yep.
He does great work as a heel. Just don't know why they don't ever, it's like that snowball, but the snow isn't sticking as it rolls. He can never get enough momentum. But I agree with you. I expect the Usos to retain here. Probably a short match. The thing is these are two talented teams. It's just no character development, no build. I mean, unless you're calling, what we've seen from Goldust and Stardust character development, I don't like it. I'm not interested. Whatever. This match, I'll probably be, talking too much and not even paying attention to what's going on.
Yep, I completely agree. So I think we're both unanimous with the Usos winning, unless they're going to retain the titles, but we're also predicting Ascension is going to make their debut tonight.
That's right. You heard it here on RopeBreakWrestling.com. Before the bell. You heard it before the bell on Before the Bell.
They don't even need me. This guy over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a new show.
Listen,
it's sweeping the nation.
Yeah, you're not going to get this shit anywhere else. Like I said, where else are you going to look at a prediction show and they're going to say the Ascension's going to make their debut at Night of Champions? You're not going to get that anywhere.
Not out there in the bleachers. That's for sure.
No, not cage side either. I mean,
yeah,
you're not going to get anything cage side. That's for damn sure. So moving right along, we got Paige and AJ and Nikki Bella in the triple threat for the
this one's gonna be tough.
Divas Championship. And, I've said it from the get-go, I do not like this match, period. I think it's a waste. And here's why, and I've said this before. First and foremost, they put the Bella segment on the front, and they've kind of been overshadowing Paige and AJ's storyline, which is way better. It's been developed better, and they have way more skill to hold themselves in that spotlight. Brie and Nikki, they don't have the mic ability right now, and it's almost like they're throwing them out into the deep end,
right?
Knowing they can't swim.
It's
like sink or swim. And then you throw Stephanie McMahon, who's good on the mic. It's almost like throwing them concrete slabs on top of it.
Yeah, it's like a shark out there with them.
It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, like they had the backstage segments before. Those are better because you kind of have that safety net where you can put them back there and you can record it and keep recording it if need be and put something up that's okay comparative to throwing them straight live on television, sink or swim. This whole build-up has been terrible. It's been a waste of a storyline because I really do think the storyline is good if they were more, if they were able to handle it better. But as for this match goes, it just, my prediction is that I think it's obvious. And I'm going to say it's obvious, and then it's not even going to happen. I'm going to look like an ass. But it's obvious to me. It seems as if I can't see Brie not interfering in this match at some point to stop her sister from getting the title. So I don't think Nikki's going to win the title.
Right.
And that in and of itself is going to take away from your champion. Your whole division should be built around your champion, not your champion being built around this storyline which you're trying to shove down our throats. It just is a waste of time. It's overshadowing the two divas in your division right now that are the best going right now. It doesn't make any sense. So I think that I gotta say, taking Brie and Nikki, which shouldn't even be a part of this right now, out of the equation, looking straight to Paige and AJ. I think Paige is gonna retain, but I think it's gonna be by a fluke. I think it's gonna be some distraction. Maybe Brie hits AJ. I think they're gonna continue trying to build this further with the four of them.
Right.
So I think Paige is going to retain by a fluke.
That's what really upsets me too. Is that not necessarily the fluke, but the part that they're thinking about continuing this four-way storyline. And I agree with you that the Paige and AJ storyline not necessarily is better developed, but they are much better in-ring talents to the point where you're much more eager to see that match than a Nikki versus Brie match. Or a Nikki versus whoever match. The problem here is you've got two solid storylines that they don't have enough time to do both, so they throw them together.
Yep.
It's like, why give the divas two solid storylines, two solid time slots when we can just jumble it all into one mess. And that's exactly what they've done. And I think that the Nikki Brie storyline has really suffered from that, because now you've got the title in there, and it's not necessarily about them two versus each other. It's about, does Nikki want the title? Does Brie want the title? Does you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just a big clusterfuck there. And I've said before, and I've gone back and forth about 1,000 times and said that my favorite storyline of all time involved a heated two-piece storyline along with the title on the side. Kurt Angle, Triple H, The Rock, SummerSlam. With that love triangle there with Stephanie McMahon. But right now it's just not working because you throw AJ and Paige in there and they have their own separate storyline. Now if you had Paige there as a side piece and Nikki was challenging, or Brie was challenging for the belt, and then Nikki had come and screwed her that way, and that's how that whole storyline started, and it's still over the belt too, that makes sense.
Yep.
But when you have a storyline between AJ and Paige over the belt, and then these other two that have nothing to do with the belt, and then you just toss them in there, it just doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can see here is, for some reason, I almost feel like Brie interfering is too predictable, and it would almost make her seem a little heelish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then Nikki would have reason to complain and show, look how terrible my sister is. See, I've been saying all along I'm the victim here, and she screwed me the belt. But that being said, I could very easily see WWE fucking it up and doing that. I think what should happen is maybe Brie is down there to support her sister or whatever, and it ends up screwing her over or something like that. You know what I mean?
I think that could work for that storyline definitely.
Or Brie isn't there at all, and Nikki loses just based on the fact that she's not as good in the ring, and then she bitches that Brie wasn't there to help her, something like that. I don't know. All I see is all I want to say is there's no way AJ's winning the strap back.
Yeah, no.
And I could look like an idiot saying that, but I don't think they're going to go back, forth. And I also think that AJ is in a really low standing with the company now based on everything that's going on with CM Punk. Phil Brooks, the Walking Dead enthusiast. Either way, I don't see AJ getting the strap back, so it's almost like you can flick her out. She's going to do some great moves, some great in-ring storytelling, but it's almost like, she shouldn't even necessarily be here anymore because we know now that you've got the Bellas mixed in there that she's not going to get it. Nikki Bella could win the title with the help of the Authority somehow. That's the only thing I see. But then it wouldn't really make sense because Paige is supposed to be a heel. And, what is that? That makes her look like a sympathetic character. There's just too much going on in this this match here for everybody to come out looking good.
Yep.
So my prediction is it's going to be a clusterfuck, and somebody's going to get royally screwed. And I think it's going to end up being Paige. She's going to retain the title, and it's going to look, sloppy. It's going to look stupid. I
completely agree. And, I think we're both unanimous with it being Paige winning by some stupid fuck up. And my like you're saying, my problem with this is this match is less about the Divas Championship and more about Brie and Nikki. And that's what the problem is. Right. You're not emphasizing the title. The title, right. Everything should be built around that title if you want it to seem important.
Right. Like you said, when the storyline is coming before the title, doesn't make sense. But anyways.
Absolutely. Moving along, we have Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm actually pretty interested to see this. I've been really enjoying the build so far going on between Ziggler and Miz, and I love Damien Sandow as his stunt double. I know there's some, there's been some back and forth in rope break and whether or not it's.
I like our Ziggler.
Yep. No. Our Ziggler. I hope our Ziggler comes out tonight. It's not even going to be Miz versus Ziggler. It's going to be our Ziggler versus Damien Mizdow.
That'd be hilarious, honestly.
But I really like it. I think it works perfect. It keeps Damien Sandow on TV. I know it's not the ideal situation for him, but it's better than, he could be JTG status right now and not even be with the company.
Right.
I think it works perfect. It works for his humor. I gotta go with when is Wade Barrett coming back? Bad News Barrett.
I believe he's slated back sometime in November, and I expect Dolph Ziggler to hold the strap until Barrett gets back.
Well, the only reason I ask that is because it wouldn't really make, unless they turn Ziggler heel, for I think Bad News Barrett needs to come back babyface. So
see, I disagree.
I think he's going to get a huge pop on his return.
Right. I agree with that, but you know, I guess that's really a discussion for a different day too.
Right.
You know, we're getting to the end. We're almost on the pay-per-view here, but that's something maybe we need to cover, you know, on this week's episode, or you know, something that you want to discuss on the following episode of Before the Bell. But you know, as far as this match goes, I'm going to take Ziggler to retain. Like I said, I expect him to hold it until Barrett comes back, regardless of what they do.
I have to agree with you on that. I think that Ziggler is going to retain the title.
Sheamus versus Cesaro.
Sheamus versus Cesaro. I'm a Cesaro guy. I like Cesaro. I hate his theme song. I think this guy agrees with me completely. Actually, I know
I don't hate the theme. I hate the sirens.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going with. The sirens are just ridiculous. But anyway, I gotta go with Sheamus on this. I know it's not what we want. Neither of us want to see that. But just knowing how they've been building Cesaro, and he's been on TV every week, kind of getting over on Sheamus. Sheamus hasn't been on TV lately, so they kind of want to make Sheamus look strong. Therefore, traditional booking dictates Sheamus is going to go over big time on Cesaro. I think somebody backstage fucking hates Cesaro.
I think you and I have agreed on every single match so far, right?
You're going to disagree.
I'm going to have to, right? Because I think we're going to agree on the rest of them here. So there has to be some kind of wrench thrown in here so I can, you know, come out victorious for the predictions here. I'm going to say Cesaro. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think that now is the time. I mean, I know this is probably a little bit more wishful thinking than it is logical thinking. But I'm going to say Cesaro just to go against this guy here, so we've got some kind of, you know, differences.
That's fair enough. We'll have to see. Moving along because we're pressed for time. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Obviously, Roman Reigns is not going to be there. You know, he had hernia surgery over the weekend.
But let's tell him about what our we pretty much came to an agreement of what we think is going to happen here.
I think it's pretty obvious that Dean Ambrose is he's returning on Raw either way, and he was slated for Night of Champions. He was advertised for the arena, and then was pulled. So I think they're just going to build it in. I think it's going to turn into an impromptu Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins match, or they'll nix the match all completely and just have Dean Ambrose run in and attack Seth Rollins. But either way, Dean Ambrose is returning. And I don't think it'll be a match, quite honestly. I don't think that they're going to spend that much time.
No, I don't think it'll be a match yet because
I
think they'll want to, continue to sell Ambrose being somewhat injured. I don't think they'll want him to come back just ready to go. But then again, you know, WWE is WWE. I would rather see Ambrose run in or, you know, cut a promo challenging Rollins, you know, somewhere down the road. But we pretty much are out of time. We got 2 minutes here. What do you think about the title match?
Title match. This is going to be interesting. Lesnar Cena, number 2 in this current storyline, 3.
Right.
Recent.
Since
years.
Lesnar's main return in 2012.
Yep. So this is a tough one because a lot of people are saying Cena's going to win. I know there's been a lot of pull. I think Vince McMahon said something about it. You know, Cena's Vince's guy. I gotta go Lesnar. I gotta think that Lesnar's gonna beat Cena. It doesn't make sense for Cena to win. You know, it's time for Cena to move out of the way.
How many times do we say it?
I know.
It's almost become comical to me that, you know what I mean? I feel like we say this every pay-per-view, but you're exactly right. Now's the time to move your ass on out of the big money spot and let some of these other young guys take the helm. But I agree with you. It's Lesnar all the way. The only way I see Cena winning is if they're going to set up Rollins to cash in tonight. If you've got a beaten down a knockdown, drag-out brawl between Cena and Lesnar. They're both, after the match, Lesnar hits him with one more F5, because he's pissed that he lost the strap, whatever. Then down comes Rollins. He doesn't have to fight, so he's fresh, and he takes the title. But
that would be the only way that I would see that working too.
I'd be marking the fuck
I would be okay with it. I wouldn't be upset with it. I still kind of want to see Lesnar take it to Mania. I know a lot of people don't, just because I think the payoff for whoever beats him, if they keep building him properly. That's about it, though. But yeah, I think we're both going Lesnar all the way. If Cena wins, Rope Break will be shutting down forever. I'll probably be in jail for arson. This shit's gonna get burnt down.
all right, man. Now's the time.
We're out of time. I think we pretty much were. The only one we disagreed on was Cesaro Sheamus. So if you guys are keeping track at score, write this stuff down. Let us know who wins. It's gonna be me.
It's a pretty successful first episode of Before the Bell.
I gotta agree. This went pretty well, guys. If you're interested in seeing my show, which why the hell wouldn't you be? Check it out every single Friday at noon, give or take. I'll post it right on the Facebook page Before the Bell. Look out for it. It's the best thing since sliced bread.
Best thing about it, though, is, like we plugged before, it's going to be an audio show.
Exactly.
So you can, listen to it while you vacuum your bedroom or other shit that you probably don't do.
Yeah, when you're stocking the shelves at work, if you're like, oh, this is a drag, throw those headphones in and just let me entertain you. Let me take all your pain away. I'm like a therapist and I cost you nothing.
Not even $9.99.
Exactly. Not even $9.99. Guys, thank you for joining us. It's that time. I know you're like, shut up. I want to go watch Night of Champions. We'll be watching right there with you. And we will see you tomorrow night for React after Raw.
We'll be reacting to Raw and Night of Champions. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Rope Break Wrestling, and we'll be doing a live tweet tonight during Night of Champions. Enjoy the show, guys.